Here we are. It's an older Athearn locomotive. What do we got? Norfolk Southern GP40-2, road number 3037, product number 89707. So Doug's Trains isn't even around anymore. That's how long it's been. But anyways, I'm gonna slap a non-sound decoder in this one, just like I did. Where is it? Somewhere over here. Oh, this guy. 3028, which I just did recently, and it's on the track right now. So let's get started. Try something a little different here. Set up the tripod a little bit higher than my desk. See what we can do here. Anyways, not even sure how long I've had this locomotive with me. Standard packaging, box, semi-clamshell. Yeah. So, move stuff around a little bit from the last install. And this one, Locomotive, has, I'll get the screwdriver here. This Locomotive here has the 4 tabs that the shell squeezes into, which is kind of nice. I don't have to worry about the couplers on the end, taking them off and on, but yeah, squeeze in and the shell pops right off. So when I get that off, I'll get back to you. Okay, boys and girls, here we are. Shell comes off. There's the 4 clips that squeeze onto the frame. And there's what we're looking at for a motor working, and put a decoder on that and away we go. So I think I'm going to move the camera in a little closer to the install. You guys can see a little bit better. Well, I got you into the bench a little closer. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to try and speed up the video in areas where it's kind of boring and everything. But anyways, first thing is get rid of the bar across the top. I get rid of everything actually. So just need to keep working on this one. And it pops off just like that. We don't need it anymore, but I keep it, you know, just in case. Need the bulb or something like that for another installation. And just to tell you, I always like to insulate the frame. In this case, the motor on the bottom side is touching the frame, connecting that, which is connected to the trucks. So I like to isolate that just in case this individual puts in metal couplers, which are conductive, right across. So, yeah, I'm gonna pull the motor off, drive shafts. So this particular model has screws, screws that hold the motor mount in, and they come out really easy.
Just unscrew them.
Okay, 4 screws out. Motor comes off really easy. Sort of. Looks like the drive shafts are actually holding it in. That's hilarious. Just turn it sideways. Motor comes out. Pull the drive shafts out. There. Now we got a frame and 2 trucks. This is what I meant by the bottom of the motor having these little tabs that make contact to the bare metal frame there. So I am going to pull this brass, comes off easy, clips. Watch out for the spring though. A lot of the times the spring pops out. Set it down. And all I do is just bend these tabs up. Like that. And I usually break them off. Just keep twisting back and forth and they break off. I use the pliers and I make sure that the brass is flat. It's got like a burr on it, so brass, copper, I think it's copper. So there. Flatten it out. Now I put the brass piece back on the motor, making sure that the brass piece has no sharp edges right there. Okay, I don't want anything touching the frame, but just to be on the safe side, I am going to put a piece of electrical tape right in there. And black tape, where are you? Ta-da! This is pretty thin stuff. But I want to make sure, excuse me, that nothing happens. 2 fingers, about that wide. thin strip. I like using the X-Acto knife and cutting a piece of black tape the size you need. So I'm just going to place it down in here. Use the X-Acto knife, tap it down in there, just like that. Sweet, eh? So I know that I'm going to put this back in. Yeah, I'm going to put this back in place now. I do note that this end of the motor, where the larger copper pieces are, does go to the front of the locomotive. So just like that, sits in there. Put my screws back in. I'll probably fast forward this piece. Okay. There we go. Insulated motor on the frame. So next is popping off the two trucks with just popping off this little cap. Be careful, it breaks on either side and the truck will just drop right out. Well, that was a tough one. So I just, you gotta be careful. I busted those tabs off that hold the truck. Anyways. Oops. Press the drive shaft. And then it just drops right out. And I'm gonna be soldering right to the side. So these side frames, I just press fit, wiggle them, they come off. Like that. And side frames. So I like soldering the wires right onto the side of the frame. Yeah. So take the clip off the other side.
Patient.
somebody can tell me an easier way to get these off. Flying. Did you see that? So there's the second one. Here's the rest of the drive shaft. And there's the other truck. To make sure these frames are isolated from the trucks, I put a piece of electrical tape, thin electrical tape, right there. That way these trucks can't make contact electrically to the frame. Very important. Okay, I'm going to flip this over and put the tape on the pieces of the exposed metal. It's not painted on the frame. Here, Alexa, turn the train room to 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be better light. My train room is controlled by Amazon equipment, which is kind of cool actually, because when I run trains, I can also run at night. Alexa, turn the train room to blue.
Okay.
And this is what it does at night. Alexa, turn the sewing desk off.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, sewing desk off.
Okay.
And that's what it looks like in here. Which is pretty cool running trains. You can still see, but it looks dark. Alexa, turn the sewing desk on.
I'm not quite sure how to help you
Alexa,
with that.
sewing desk on. Alexa, sewing desk on.
Okay.
So, Alexa, turn the train room to daylight.
Okay.
So, getting back to this, I'm just doing a rough cut. Don't have to be really on it. I do kind of pre-cut a hole in the tape. So that when you place the tape on the frame, come on. So when you place the tape on the frame, I think I'm going to cut a better one actually. That one wasn't very good. Take your time, do it right. Okay. So put the black electrical tape on here. And here. Bingo. It's like that. So that's covered. Do the other side now. You just want to make sure that, you know, trucks are isolated from the frame. You don't want any shorts to happen. So I'm gonna make that one a little longer. Yeah. Don't want anything to happen. Don't want a decoder to get fried or, tripping a booster, that sort of stuff. So there we go. And of course the tape isn't that thick that I have to worry about the trucks. Lift the frame lifting up and the coupler height being at a different level. So, okay, move on from this. That's that. Okay, now comes to the soldering. I like to solder the wires right onto the trucks. In this case, black and red is what I use. I use also silicone wire. It's very, very flexible. Very flexible, so I don't have to worry about the wires causing an issue with the trucks turning. Certainly don't want the trucks to be, I think I dropped my wire there. You want the trucks to move freely left and right. So there's two, and then two there. Red is the generally the fireman's side. Just gonna move this out of the way for a bit. Yeah. So I'm gonna put the truck red wire on this side. When you put the truck, backwards, in here, I like to make sure that the wire coming out as much room as possible through the frame of the hole here. So in this case, I'm going to put the wire, solder it onto the first hole and come out this end of the frame. That's give me lots of room to allow that. Backwards. Same goes for this truck. Looks like the best place to attach the wire. Maybe I'm just looking to see if there's enough room in here so when the truck swivels. Might be this set. So I might be attaching the wire onto this, whoops, this part right here. Okay. So this is soldering to these things is a little bit difficult too. So what I usually do is I take my X-Acto knife and I just twirl it around in there and take the top off the metal like that. So the solder has a good connection to the metal. Oops, sorry guys, hit the, do that to the other side too. Just scraping the top off. I don't know if you can see that. It's nice and shiny compared to the other one now. Solder will have a good place to grab onto. So that way, and red side, this side. Oops, forgot to do this one. Let's check this again. So if you're watching this, let me know what projects you're working on. I always like to see what people are doing. Okay, that should be pretty good. Again, you can see the difference. This is the one whoops. This is the one I scraped out. It's shiny. This is the dull. So the shiny one I scraped out. So solder has some place to connect to. Red wire. So I'm gonna tin the wires. Oh, flux here. George from Soundtrack suggested this. It's chip quick. I find this great, and it is a great applicator for getting into spots like this. So just oops, turn my soldering gun on too, by the way. Yeah. Oh, wait for it to heat up a bit. Doesn't take too long. Yeah, I wonder how old this locomotive is. It's brand new, but it's been around. Get my solder ready here. Ta-da! 230 degrees and climbing. So when I solder these in here while we're waiting, I like to solder them so the wire's coming straight up from the hole. Oops, sorry, you can see it. So there we go, 300 degrees. So I think that's enough. Tin that one. Tin that one. Now when it comes to soldering in these, it takes a little bit of heat and a little bit of time. I'm going to put my magnifying glasses on. How you doing? I like heating this up. I'll give you a close-up here, but then the solder goes right in the hole. Oops. And sticks really well. So here we go. Oops. Come on, girls. There we go. Beautiful. So I'll show you. That's the way I like it. Straight up. You can push on this, bend the wire a little bit. Straight up. Nice and neat. So, one side. And so tinned wire. Okay. Again, nice neat job, wire straight up. Okay, opposite side, black. I'm not stripping too much off the end of the wires. Quarter inch or something like that. But I also stick a lot of it down in the hole. So, it's flux. I'm back. Had to go kill a bug flying around. Okay. Okay, 2 wires down. Solder in the hole. Nice. Beautiful. So that's that one. And let's put this one in. So I ended up bending the metal piece here. It's a little bit bent, but allows for the truck to turn better. I don't know what's really going on there. But anyways, I'm going to put the drive shaft in. So put the side with the hexagon in there. And then attach the rest of the drive shaft in. Turn the brass bushings so they sit down in the gearbox. Like that. And put the cap back on. Bingo. Just like that. And the truck moves nice and freely. Like that, left and right. Very nice. So, now that we got that, so the trucks are isolated from the frame. Trucks are isolated from frame, power up. And then the motor is isolated from the frame also. That's the way she should be, boys and girls. Getting on my cup full of pockets. Now, here is a cheat. I love these things. So, Athearn part number 140,67241. 67241. So this is a motherboard that just clips on the top of these Athearn units. I love them. And they got the clip on the bottom, so they just connect onto the motor. I'll take off the dummy plug where the decoder is going. Come on, girls. There. I keep them just in case. Anyways, you're gonna love this. Just clips on there, right over top, that copper strip. Beautiful, just like that. Now, what I forgot to do was, Jiminy Crickets, bring up the wire for the motor, which is no big deal. I'll just unscrew the, actually, take this off. Ouch. I'm gonna unscrew the motor and bring up that wire now, so. Silly me, forgot that. Should have done that earlier, I guess. Four screws at the bottom. There you go, just like that. So you don't, I'm just gonna do this. See if I can give it a quarter turn. Oh, already came off the, came out anyway, so there. So off the bottom motor copper here, motor strip, we need to bring up a wire because the top one's connected to the motherboard. So yeah, way to go, Darren. Messed that up, didn't you? So I just gave it a little scratching there. Yeah. Here. Back in a sec. Okay, back. I'm just gonna tin up this wire. Oops. There we go. There. Okay, let's put the motor back in. Silly me. By the way, I do like the wire to come up on the conductor's side, and I'll show you why later. So, okay. Okay. Motors down in, drive shafts are connected. Make sure your black side, like this, wire is on the wrong side coming out, so I'll just feed it over. Making a few mistakes on this install. Okay. Put the screws back in. Here we go again. Screws. Okay. So again, make sure your wires are on the right side of the drive shaft. See that? And then here's the wire for the motor. So like I said, here's the motherboard that I like to use from Athearn. So just pops right on like that. And the other motor connection is right here. So this is why I like this wire to come over the conductor's side.
So all the strands stay together. Bottom side up.
And the reason why in this model, I do bottom side up. The wire is going down there. I'm going to attach it to the motor and down, so just keeps the job neat. I like to do a nice, neat job.
Yeah. Trying to hold three things at once here.
like I said, get this out of the way so you can see. I went from the bottom side up on this one, so the, you know, wire can go right here, nice and neat. The shell's going on over top, so see, beautiful, beautiful. So I'm gonna do the 4 wires now for the trucks.
I'm gonna leave a little loop. Always want to leave a little wire room. Get me in the wire. In the board. Beautiful, look at that. Okay, might shorten this video up a little bit. I'm only doing the four corners. Don't need to see this process 4 times over. So. Okay, I really need to clean the tip of the soldering gun. Mm-hmm. I got my colors backwards. Maybe I got my motherboard in backwards. Either way, doesn't matter. There we go. Once again.
Just like that. Yeah, excellent. Now if you notice what I did on mine, take this out of here. I like the loop. Make sure I got, you know, flexibility from the truck. I also put a slight glue sometimes on the wires just to tack them together. Nice, neat jobs. I don't want this wire from the motor here down underside. I tack it right here. Oops, you can't see. I tack it right here, just a drop of in there, holds it nice and firmly, so I don't want it getting into the armature, etc. So I use these a lot. Because it's a great decoder, economical, 21 pin, 8 functions, which is more than enough for this Athearn baby. Just like this. Okay. Bingo. She should work. Might as well put the side frames on, eh? They just push in, insert. Just like that. Looking good. Beautiful. Just like that. Nice and neat. Gonna love it. I'm not gonna put any lighting in tonight. I'm out of LED bulbs. So I need to pick some up. Otherwise, I would do it. This motherboard is amazing because all the pads are right there. You can see that. All the pads are right there, so you know, 2 here to the front light. Oh, sorry. Yeah, front light. Whoa, drive shaft isn't in, I see. 2 here to the rear light, and then the rest of the pads. Speaker, if you have a sound unit, F7, there's a bunch of pads up here if I want to add different lights later on. Just see if I can fit this drive shaft in without having to take it apart. I think I got to take it apart. How did I miss that? Oh, got it back in. Look at that. Bingo. That was actually too easy. But yeah, normally I just glue the LED lights, front dark, number boards or whatever. It's easy to do. Put them in there, put them on the board. Sometimes I use a connector in between, but in this case, yeah, so wheels look pretty clean. Should be. And just like that. Hey, no smoke. Go to the controller here. See what we can do. Very nice. I can put the hood on for now and away I go. Do some programming of this shell 3037. So here I got my locomotive on my programming track. This is all the brains in my system here. I use I use wireless serial port servers so I can communicate with any computer to the programming track. Here's the fun part. This shell has a weight that's inside and comes down from the top. If I take this off, the dynamic braking hatch, come on. There we go. You can see the weight in here. So I have to take this weight out and I have to cut a hole to allow for the added height of the decoder. So I'll do that, take you back over the bench, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, back over the bench here. I'm just going to use a screwdriver and I think I can pop the weight out. It's just stuck in with a little two-sided tape. Just like that. So this plastic on here is a little lower, and it just won't let me. Do I get out of the right way? No. It just won't let me push it down because the decoder is right there. You can see it. It is that tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Dremel, take 2 slices across the hood, X-Acto knife, cut it, pop it out. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I cut it out. It looks worse than it is. So I just take these pieces out now. Just be gentle. Gentle. They're not too bad at coming out. You score the plastic. So, oops. There. And take the burr or flashing off the plastic here. Excellent. Just like that. See that? That is excellent. Like I said, it looks worse than it is before. But that's all you got to do is take that out. Now it pops right down in. Just like that. And here's the dynamic braking hatch. Whoops. Drop it on the floor. Don't drop it on the floor. Make sure you put it the right way in. There. Okay. Look at that. You wouldn't know any different. And there we go. Beautiful. I'm loving it. What was that number again? Select local 3037. Beautiful. Look at that. Does hum a little, but that's the decoder pulsing the Athearn motor. So like you can get super slow motion out of this. I mean, look at this. Here's speed step 1. Isn't that great? Anyways, time to put it on the track. And burn it in. Thanks for watching, guys.